Hi everyone, it's the second day of June and there has been some development. Law Commission has been talking about sedition, which has been much debate about topic, that whether sedition is it a colonial effect, should we still have that in our criminal laws or should we do away with that. So that discussion is there. Then we have this Nepali Prime Minister visiting India, so there have been a lot of agreements. So there have been several news like that, some national, international news and some legal news as well. So let's look at the important news of today. This news is coming regarding the Manipur violence. As you know that since May 3rd there has been unrest in Manipur, there has been violence in Manipur, and it has consistently it has been in news. So now Amit Shah is saying that there will be a judicial panel that will probe Manipur violence. So there will be a commission headed by a retired High Court Chief Justice, and CBI will also begin investigation. And he has warned the Kuki militant group of stern action if the 2008 agreement is violated. So addressing a press conference in Imphal on the fourth day of the trip, he is in Manipur currently. So on the fourth day of his trip, the Home Minister, he termed the ongoing tension in the state as ethnic violence. So Mr. Shah has said that the CBI would also conduct its own probe of all the cases registered so far. The CBI would select 5 and register a general case of conspiracy. The special CBI team will probe the cases without any bias. So there has been more than 2000 FIRs that have been registered since the violence broke out in May 3rd. So now the commission will be set up and the responsibilities will be fixed accordingly. Regarding Manish Sisodia, who is still in jail, High Court has asked that why was the excise policy withdrawn when it was so good. So the Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, who is still lost in Tihar jail, he had filed a fresh application of release, but instead it was asked that please answer that if the policy was so good, why did you withdraw it? So get a definitely reply to it, then only we can consider your bail application. Additional Solicitor General S.V. Raju, he appeared for the Enforcement Directorate. He claimed that the policy was withdrawn because wrongdoings of the accused had been exposed. That is why they withdrew the policy. The sedition news that I was talking about, it said the Law Commission has suggested that sedition has been a colonial legacy, but this is not a valid ground for repealing a law. Just because something is a colonial legacy, just because Britishers gave it, that is not cannot be the only ground that we should remove it. So in view of the misuse of section 124A, the panel has recommended that the center issue model guidelines to curb its wrong application by enforcement agencies. Now usually you must have seen that what happens is section 124A is misused by the authorities whenever a person is saying anything, say anti-government or anti-establishment. So they say that it is sedition. So whether every case can people be made victim of using the section 124A? Do we not have the right to dissent? Can't we not talk about, even if the government is wrong, can we not raise our voice? So if section 124A is being misused, then there should be a model guideline trying to prevent its misuse, but it can be retained. There is no need to completely remove the sedition laws. There is no need to completely remove section 128A, but there can be safeguards that can be attached to it. So merely ascribing the term colonial to a law or institution does not by itself ascribe to it an idea of anachronism. So that has to be taken into consideration. It says in this report here that half of electricity to be from renewable sources by 2027, which is a very great news. because as per our international commitment, the half of installed electricity being sourced from renewable sources we have committed by 2030. But as per the Central Electricity Authority, there is a suggestion that we may achieve this by 2026-27. So we may achieve it earlier than what we have committed. So that is one thing that is good. A medium range ballistic missile Agni-1 test fired in Odisha. So a successful training launch of a medium range ballistic missile Agni-1 was carried out by the Strategic Forces Command from APJ Abdul Kalam, Odisha. There has been this eye drops linked to infection, and it is manufactured in India, so it is a issue of concern. CDSCO, what is CDSCO? The Central Drugs Standards Control Organization. They have initiated an inquiry, they have initiated a probe because there have been many complaints raised by the Sri Lankan Ministry of Health. They are alleging that there is an eye drop which is manufactured in India, which is linked to an eye infection in more than 30 people. So the preliminary inquiry said that 14 out of 34 patients who underwent cataract surgery since April 5, they complained of reduced vision after the use of this medicine, this eye drop. So the query will be there. They were recalled with immediate effect as per an order issued by the Sri Lankan Ministry of Health. As you know that the Nepalese Prime Minister in India, and we have been having very useful talks. So there has been several agreements being signed. So they signed pacts on energy, transport. Now India will import 10,000 megawatt of electricity from Nepal. Prime Minister Modi highlighted the close cultural link between the two countries, and he calls for fast-tracking projects related to Ramayan circuit. However, there is also a controversy. In the new parliament, there is a map of Akhand Bharat, and Nepal is not very happy with that. In that map of Akhand Bharat, Lumbini, the birthplace of Gautam Buddha, that has been shown as a part of India. And of course, Lumbini is considered, like the Nepal considers Lumbini as a very culturally significant part of their land. So with that map of Akhand Bharat that is in the new parliament building, that has created some mistrust, some unrest, some they're not very happy about it. So a major controversy has broken out in Nepal over a mural depictions of the Indian subcontinent landmass in the newly inaugurated parliament building. The mural has been interpreted as a map of Akhand Bharat or undivided India, which has drawn angry responses from Nepali political leaders across party lines. The mural shows Lumbini, the birthplace of Gautam Buddha, indicating India's claim over the region. Nepal considers Lumbini as one of the major cultural centers on the Nepalese map. India and China hold talks on LAC issue in New Delhi. So there has been an impasse in the negotiations to disengage along the line of actual control, and it continued at the first in-person India-China border talks in more than 4 years. So they will hold talk in New Delhi. So readouts from both sides suggested that no major headway in the slow-moving negotiations on disengagement along the LAC. Chinese statement said that 19th military-level talks will be held soon. Now this is interesting. India-Russia joint venture on Vande Bharat train has hit hurdle. It has come into problem because Russia, we had this JV, joint venture with Russia for Vande Bharat trains, but now that Russia is at war with Ukraine and there has been so many restrictions on Russia, so sending the supplies, sending the parts, that has become very difficult. That is making things all the more difficult. So the joint venture between Russian transportation giant Mash Holding and the Indian public sector undertaking Rail Vikas Nigam Limited, they were supposed to manufacture 120 Vande Bharat Express trains valued at nearly $3.63 billion, that is over 30,000 crore rupees. It has run into problems. The issue involves sanctions imposed on Russia following the Ukraine war by multiple countries that are spare parts suppliers for Vande Bharat trains. So the other countries that were supplying materials for Vande Bharat trains, they have put sanction on Russia, thereby our project is in trouble now. Joe Biden has approved new financial military package for Ukraine, $300 million. So the package includes additional munitions for drones and array of other weapons. It also provides munitions to boost Ukraine's air defense capabilities. US and Taiwan have inked trade deal, and China has a problem with that because although Taiwan considers itself independent, but China claims has claims over it. US does not have any official relationship with Taiwan as a state, but this trade deal has created some sparks, has alerted China. US and Taiwan, they do not have any official diplomatic relation. They maintain unofficial ties through the de facto US embassy on the island and the American Institute in Taiwan. The first agreement under the latest initiative was signed by representatives of the American Institutes in Taiwan and the Taipei Economic and Cultural Representative Office in the US, and said the US Trade Representatives Press Office. So China has problem with that. GST collections has crossed 1.5 lakh rupees for the fifth time, and it is up to 11.5% in May. And on the other hand, Pakistan has posted a record inflation for second consecutive month, and the inflation figures are 37.97% in May. So as per the Statistics Bureau, it has set a national record for the second month in a row, adding to its problem of a balance of payment crisis and the risk of sovereign default. Good news coming from US. Job openings in US rose unexpectedly in April 23. So around 10.1 million jobs. The sudden rise illustrated the resilience of the American labor market and complicated Federal Reserve efforts to fight inflation. India's power consumption marginally grew by 1.04% in May, and this minimal rise was attributed to widespread rains. In sports, we have this India's junior men's hockey team. They maintained its continental supremacy as it beat its rival Pakistan 2-1 to emerge Asia Cup champions on Thursday. That's a good news. That's all for right now. Thank you so much. See you in the next session with more set of news. Till then, have a good day. Goodbye.